Chosen one, listen closely because you just passed the hardest test God ever placed in your path. And the best part, you didn't even know you were being tested. Right now, you might be sitting in your truck, or maybe you're staring at the walls of your garage in suburban Ohio, wondering why the last few years felt like a relentless uphill battle. You felt the weight of the world on your shoulders. You felt the sting of betrayal from people you trusted with your life. But here is what you need to understand. The results are in, and they are beyond excellent. Heaven was watching every single step you took when the lights were off and the world was silent. You walked through a furnace that was supposed to turn you into ash, but instead, it turned you into steel. Think back to that night last winter, the night you sat on the edge of your bed, feeling completely broken, staring at a bank account that didn't match your hard work, or a heart that had been ripped open by someone you loved. You had every right to get bitter. You had every reason to walk away from your faith and curse the sky. But you didn't. You chose silence over revenge. You chose to pray in your own broken, messy way instead of giving in to the darkness. That was the exam. That was the moment the Almighty was measuring the caliber of your soul. You thought you were just surviving. You thought you were just trying to make it to the next paycheck or the next sunrise. But in reality, you were being refined like 24-karat gold in the heat of the Mojave Desert. The pressure didn't break you because I built you to withstand it. I saw the tears you wiped away at the gas station so your kids wouldn't see you struggle. I saw the integrity you kept when you could have taken the easy way out and cheated the system. Those quiet victories shouted louder in the halls of heaven than any stadium of people cheering your name. And because you stayed loyal when you were confused, the season of proving is officially over. The gates are unlocking. The promotion you didn't even ask for is being signed in the spirit realm right now. You are not who you were 12 months ago. You are stronger. You are wiser. And you are dangerously close to a breakthrough that will make all those miles of desert walking finally make sense. But there is something specific you need to know about why this happened now. There is a reason the silence was so loud, and if you think the test was just about your patience, you are missing the most explosive part of the master plan. I know there were nights when the silence of God felt like a heavy blanket of rejection. You looked around at people who didn't care about integrity, people who cut corners and stepped on others to get ahead. And you saw them prospering. You saw them buying the new houses in the suburbs of Charlotte or driving the luxury SUVs through the streets of Dallas while you were struggling to keep the tires on your old truck balanced. It felt unfair. It felt like your prayers were hitting a brass ceiling and bouncing right back down to the floor. But here is the truth that the world will never tell you. The silence was not an absence. The silence was a sanctuary. I was keeping you in a quiet place because I was doing a work in you that could not be done in the spotlight. You see, when a builder is laying the foundation for a skyscraper in Manhattan, they don't start by going up. They go down. They dig deep into the dark, cold earth until they hit the bedrock. That digging process is messy. It's loud. It's lonely. And for a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. To the people walking by on the sidewalk, it just looks like a giant hole in the ground. But without that depth, the height would be impossible. The reason your digging season was so long and so painful is because the structure I am building on your life is going to be massive. I couldn't put $1 million vision on a 10-cent character. So, I allowed the pressure. I allowed the delay. I even allowed some people to walk out of your life because they were too heavy for where you are going next. You thought you were being abandoned. In reality, you were being unburdened. Think about the person you were 3 years ago. You were easily shaken. You relied on the approval of your neighbors and the likes on your screen to feel worthy. But look at you now. After passing this hidden test, you don't need the world to clap for you anymore. You've found a strength that comes from the inside. You've found a peace that doesn't make sense to the people at the office. That is what it means to be a chosen one. It's not about a title or a crown. It's about being the kind of person who can stand in the middle of a hurricane and not lose their footing because they know who holds the wind. Every time you chose to be honest on your tax returns when you could have cheated, you were passing the test. Every time you chose to speak well of the boss who overlooked you for the promotion, you were passing the test. Every time you went into your closet, closed the door, and cried out to me instead of venting your anger on social media, you were qualifying for the next level. The results are excellent because you didn't let the heat turn you into a victim. You didn't adopt the poor me mentality that is infecting this nation. You stood tall. You kept your boots on the ground and your eyes on the Creator. And now, the shift is beginning. The atmosphere around your home is changing. The heavy cloud of anxiety that has been following you from room to room like a shadow is starting to evaporate. You're going to start noticing that the doors that were slammed in your face last year are suddenly standing wide open, but you won't even have to kick them down. The favor that is coming upon you is going to be so thick that people will wonder what your secret is. They will see the blessing, but they didn't see the breaking. They will see the harvest, but they didn't see the midnight planting you did in the middle of your tears. I am aligning your circumstances with your new capacity. I am bringing people into your life who carry the same spiritual weight that you do. No more surface-level friends. No more people who only love you for what you can give them. I am surrounding you with a tribe of warriors who will sharpen you as you sharpen them. This isn't just about money. Although I am the God of more than enough, and I will take care of your debts, this is about your purpose. You didn't survive that heart-wrenching trial just to go back to business as usual. You survived it so you could become a lighthouse for others who are still lost at sea. Your story is becoming a weapon. The very thing the enemy tried to use to destroy your mind is now the very thing you will use to set others free. But as you step into this new light, you must be careful, because the higher you go, the more the wind blows. And there is a specific trap that is set for people who pass the hard tests. A trap that looks like a reward, but acts like a cage. If you don't recognize it now, you might lose everything you just fought so hard to gain. The trap I am talking about is the subtle lure of comfort without character. Many people pray for the mountain to be moved, but they forget that the climb is what strengthens their lungs. You passed the test of hardship, but now you are entering the test of abundance. It is one thing to trust me when you are on your knees in a cold room with nothing but a Bible and a broken heart. It is a completely different thing to trust me when your bank account is full, your health is vibrant, and the world is finally giving you the respect you deserve. The reason the results of your previous season were so excellent is that you learned how to be spiritually hungry, even when your stomach was empty. Do not lose that hunger now that the table is being set in the presence of your enemies. I have seen many chosen ones survive the desert only to drown in the oasis. They forget the god of the valley once they reached the peak of the mountain. But you are different. The fire you went through in that small town in Georgia, or that lonely apartment in Seattle, burned away the superficial parts of your ego. It left behind a core of humility that is rare in this day and age. This is why I can trust you with the influence that is coming. I am not just giving you stuff. I am giving you a platform. The wisdom you gathered while you were being overlooked is now your greatest currency. When you speak, people will listen not because you are the loudest in the room, but because you carry the weight of experience. You carry the scent of the furnace. There is a specific authority that comes from surviving what was meant to kill you. The demons recognize it. Other people's spirits recognize it. They see that you weren't given your strength, you earned it in the dark. Now, listen to the logic of the kingdom, because you were faithful in the little moments of pain. I am making you ruler over much in the moments of peace. The resources that are being released to you are not just for your comfort. They are for your mission. I am looking for people I can flow through, not just people I can flow to. You are a conduit. The favor coming your way is meant to change your family's zip code, but it's also meant to change the lives of people you haven't even met yet. Think about the Josephs and the Daniels of history. They didn't just survive the pit or the lion's den to tell a good story. They survived so they could save entire nations. Your trial was the basic training for a war you didn't know you were enlisted in, but the victory is already signed in blood. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Feel the tension leaving your neck. Feel the grip of survival mode loosening its hold on your brain. You've spent so long waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the next disaster, that you've forgotten how to live in expectation of good. The hardest part of the test wasn't the pain itself. It was the duration. It was the, how much longer? Lord, it was the, did you forget where I live? I never forgot. In fact, I was so close to you that I was counting your heartbeats. I was the one who gave you that sudden burst of strength to keep going when you wanted to pull over to the side of the road and give up. I was the one who put a specific person in your path to say exactly what you needed to hear, right when you were at your breaking point. The results are excellent because you didn't just pass, you graduated. You are moving from the classroom of theory into the field of practice. The things I taught you about patience while you were waiting for that miracle, you're going to need that patience to manage the miracle once it arrives. The things I taught you about forgiveness while you were being slandered by your own relatives, you're going to need that forgiveness when you have the power to crush your enemies, but choose to show them mercy instead. That is the mark of a true leader. That is the mark of the chosen one. You are becoming an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven in a world that has forgotten what honor looks like. And as you walk into this new authority, you will realize that the delay wasn't a denial. It was a protection. If I had given you the blessing 2 years ago, it would have crushed you because your character wasn't wide enough to hold it. But now, you are built for this. You are a custom-made vessel, hammered and shaped by the hand of the master. But stay alert, because while you are celebrating your breakthrough, the enemy is recalculating his strategy. He knows he can't stop the blessing anymore, so he will try to distract you with the golden calves of this world. He will try to make you believe that you were the one who saved yourself. He will try to make you forget the nights of prayer and replace them with days of pride. Do not let him. Keep your eyes on the source. The next shift is going to be so rapid it will make your head spin. It will be acceleration in its purest form. What took others 20 years to build? I am going to help you build in 20 months. Why? Because the time is short, and I need my chosen ones in position. I need you in the boardrooms. I need you in the schools. I need you in the media. I need your light in the places where the darkness thinks it has won. And as you step out, you're going to see something happen with your finances and your health that can only be described as a divine restoration. Everything the locusts have eaten is being returned with interest. But there is a final secret to this results-driven season that you must hear before you take your first step into the new. The final secret of this season is the power of divine alignment. And you see, the hardest test wasn't just about whether you would stay faithful. It was about whether you would stay teachable. Many people become know-it-alls when they go through pain. They become cynical. They think they've seen it all, and that no one can tell them anything new. But you kept the heart of a child even while you were carrying the burdens of a giant. You remained open. You kept saying, "Lord, if there is something in me that needs to change, show me." And that prayer is the most dangerous prayer a person can pray, because I will always answer it. And I did. I reached into the deep crevices of your soul and pulled out the things that would have tripped you up later. I pulled out the need for people's validation. I pulled out the fear of man. I pulled out the orphan spirit that made you feel like you had to fight for every crumb on the table. Now, you are moving into a sonship or daughtership authority. You don't fight for victory anymore, you fight from victory. Do you feel the difference when you fight for something? You are desperate, you are stressed, you are sweating and wondering if you're going to make it. But when you fight from a position of victory, you are calm. You know the outcome is already settled in the courts of heaven. You're just walking out the details here on earth. This is why the results are excellent, because your internal world has finally caught up to your external calling. I've seen you in the grocery store aisles, counting pennies and wondering if you could afford the good meat or if you had to settle for the basics. I've seen you at the gas pump, stopping at exactly $20 because that's all you had left until Friday. I didn't let you go through that to punish you. I let you go through that so that when I make you a millionaire, you will never forget the value of $1. I let you go through that so you would always have compassion for the man standing behind you in line who is going through what you just survived. Your struggle was a compassion workshop. It was a masterclass in empathy. The Chosen One title isn't a badge of superiority. It's a towel of service. Remember when I washed the feet of my disciples, I was showing you that the greatest in the kingdom is the one who serves the most. The elevation that is coming to you right now, the better job, the business breakthrough, the restored marriage, it's all designed to give you a better towel. I am giving you more so you can be a blessing to more. And the beautiful thing is, the more you give, the more I will pour back in. It's a kingdom cycle that the elites of this world don't understand. They think hoarding is the way to wealth. I say that scattering is the way to increase. You've been scattering your seeds in a dry season. You've been helping neighbors with their lawns when your own heart was heavy. You've been tithes and giving when the math didn't add up. Now, the windows of heaven are being unbolted. This isn't a maybe. This isn't a perhaps. This is a surely, surely. Goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life, but following means you have to be moving. Stop sitting in the ashes of your last season. Stop wearing the victim label like it's a fashion statement. Take it off. Put on the garment of praise. Put on the armor of light. I am changing your reputation in your community. The people who used to whisper about your bad luck are going to start whispering about your unbelievable favor. They're going to ask, how did they do it? Didn't they just lose everything a couple of years ago? And you will look them in the eye, and with a humble smile, you will say, I didn't do it. God did it. That testimony is going to do more for the kingdom than 1,000 sermons. It's going to reach the guy at the gym who thinks God is a fairy tale. It's going to reach the woman at the office who is contemplating ending it all because she thinks there's no way out. You are a living proof document. You are a walking, talking evidence of God's grace. The results are excellent because you stayed in the game. You didn't quit when the score was 0-40 in the fourth quarter. You kept playing. You kept believing. And now, I am triggering the comeback of the century in your life. But wait. There is a specific instruction I have for you regarding your old life. There are some people who are going to try to re-enter your life now that the harvest is visible. People who weren't there when you were planting in the rain. People who mocked your faith when you were in the pit. You need to know exactly how to handle them, or you might compromise the purity of the new season. Listen carefully, because the next thing I tell you will determine how long this season of favor lasts. Handling the ghosts of your past is the ultimate test of your new authority. As the results of your faithfulness become visible to the world, you will notice something peculiar. People who haven't texted you in 3 years will suddenly check in. Relatives who looked down on you when you were struggling to keep your head above water will suddenly have great ideas for businesses they want you to fund. The very people who sat in the bleachers and critiqued your every move while you were sweating in the arena will now want a front row seat to your victory lap. Here is my instruction to you. Be kind, but be firm. Do not allow the people who didn't respect your seed to feast on your harvest. This isn't about being petty or holding a grudge. It's about stewardship. If someone was toxic to your spirit when you were weak, they will be a parasite to your purpose now that you are strong. You are a chosen one, and your time is now a kingdom asset. You cannot afford to spend your newfound energy trying to prove your worth to people who already showed you they don't value you. I have already validated you. I have already stamped your life with the seal of my approval. If they couldn't see the God in you when you were in the pit, they will only see the gold on you now that you are on the palace. Guard your gates. Keep your inner circle tight filled with the ones who stayed, the ones who prayed, and the ones who didn't walk away when the clouds turned black. The results are excellent because you have developed a discernment that you didn't have before. You can now smell a lie from a mile away. You can sense a hidden motive before the person even opens their mouth. That is a gift from the Holy Spirit, designed to protect the new thing I am doing in your life. I am taking you into rooms where the air is thinner. I am taking you into levels of influence where the decisions you make will impact hundreds, maybe thousands, of families. In those rooms, nice isn't enough. You need wise. You thought the hardest test was the financial lack or the emotional pain, but the real test was whether you could remain humble while becoming powerful. Look at the landscape of America today. We have plenty of people with power, but very few with character. We have plenty of people with platforms, but very it with a prayer life. I am raising you up to be an anomaly. I want people to look at your business, your family, and your peace of mind and say, There is something different about that person. They don't react like the world reacts. They don't fear what the world fears. That is the chosen one signature. It's a quiet confidence that says, I've been through the worst, and I know who held me. So why would I be afraid of a little bit of wind? I am clearing your path of the distractors and the dream killers. If you feel a sudden disconnect from certain friendships, do not try to force them back together. If a good opportunity suddenly dries up, do not chase it. I am the one closing those doors to keep you on the narrow path that leads to your true destiny. You are entering a season of minimum effort, maximum result. In your old season, you worked 80 hours a week and barely moved the needle. In this new season, you will speak a word, you will make one phone call, you will send one email, and doors will swing open that you couldn't have pried open with a crowbar in 10 years. That is called grace. It's the unfair advantage that comes to those who passed the hidden test. I want you to prepare your house. I want you to prepare your mind. The expansion is going to require a version of you that is organized and disciplined. I am giving you the spirit of excellence. The same spirit that was on Daniel in Babylon is coming upon you in your workplace. You will see solutions where others only see problems. You will see opportunities where others only see obstacles. And as you rise, keep your heart tethered to the secret place. The only way to stay standing in the public eye is to stay kneeling in the private room. The results are excellent, my child, but the best part isn't the stuff you can buy. The best part is the version of you that is looking back in the mirror. The version that is no longer a slave to fear. The version that is no longer a victim of the past. The version that knows without a shadow of a doubt that they are a son or daughter of the Most High God. You are ready. The exam is over. The positioning phase has begun, and there is one final piece of the puzzle that is about to fall into place. The final piece of the puzzle is the divine timing of your manifestation. You see, many people wonder why I am doing this now. Why didn't this breakthrough happen 5 years ago when you first asked? Why did you have to wait until you were almost at your limit? It is because there is a specific frequency of maturity that is required to hold the weight of what I am about to give you. If you look at the stars in the night sky over the plains of Kansas or the mountains of Colorado, you'll notice that they don't all appear at once. They wait for the darkness to reach a certain depth before they reveal their true brightness. Your life is exactly like that. The darkness you just endured was the backdrop I needed to make your light undeniable. If you had succeeded back then, people would have said it was your talent. They would have said it was your hustle or your luck. But because you are coming out of a situation that looked impossible, a situation that looked like a dead end, everyone will know it was me. The results are excellent because they are God-sized results. They are results that defy human logic and bypass the normal systems of this world. I am moving you into a realm of supernatural physics. In the natural world, you have to sow a seed and wait years for a harvest. But in the realm you are entering, the plowman will overtake the reaper. The blessings will come so fast that your head will spin. You will still be thanking me for the first miracle when the second one knocks on your door. But do not let the speed of the blessing make you forget the slowness of the process. The slowness was where the strength was built. The unseen years were where your roots went deep enough to support the seen years. I am looking at you right now, and I see a masterpiece. I don't see the mistakes you made in your 20s. I don't see the times you stumbled in your 30s. I see the chosen one who refused to stay down. I see the warrior who kept their sword the word of God, even when their hands were shaking with fatigue. The hardest test was a test of spiritual identity. The enemy tried to label you as forgotten. He tried to label you as failed. He even tried to label you as average. But I have labeled you as mine. And my label is the only one that carries the weight of eternity. As you move into this final phase of the year, expect the unexpected. Expect the phone call that changes your career. Expect the doctor's report that uses the word miraculous. Expect the reconciliation in your family that you thought was a closed book. I am the God of the third day. I specialize in things that look dead, buried, and forgotten. And just like I rolled away the stone for my son, I am rolling away the stone of limitation from your life. You have passed the hardest test. You didn't bow to the idols of this world. You didn't trade your soul for a quick fix. You held out for the excellent result. And now, that result is your reality. Walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in the dignity of the redeemed. You don't have to explain yourself to your critics anymore. Your life is about to become the explanation. Your success is about to become the evidence. Your peace is about to become the proof. The season of survival is officially over. The season of dominion has begun. But before you step out into this new day, I have one final word for your heart. It's about the legacy you are building. This isn't just for you. It's for the generations coming after you who will look at your life and say, if God did it for them, He can do it for me. You are the pioneer of your bloodline. You are the chain breaker of your family tree. Every curse that followed your father or your grandfather stops with you. Every cycle of poverty or addiction is being severed right here, right now. The results are excellent because they are generational. You have cleared the path for your children's children to walk on level ground. Take a moment to let that sink in. You weren't just fighting for your own bank account. You were fighting for a future you will never even see. And that, my child, is why I chose you. My dear child, we have traveled a long road together through these words, but the true journey is the one you are about to take as you close this video and walk back into your world. You have heard the truth today. You were tested, you were refined, and you have passed with excellence. But what is the ultimate lesson of this story? The lesson is that God is never closer than when He feels silent. The lesson is that your pain was never a punishment. It was a preparation. The lesson is that being a chosen one doesn't mean life is easy. It means that within you is an uneasy strength that the world cannot understand. If you are listening to this right now, know that this was not a coincidence. This was a divine appointment. I wanted to remind you of your worth before the world tries to diminish it again. I wanted to give you a second wind for the final mile of your race. Remember, the results are excellent because the potter knew exactly what he was doing when he put you on the wheel. The pressure was only meant to shape you, never to shatter you. Now, as you move forward into this season of revealing, stay humble, stay hungry for the presence of the Almighty, and most importantly, stay hopeful. Your best days are not behind you in some glory day memory of the past. Your best days are standing right in front of you, waiting for you to claim them with faith. The world is waiting for the version of you that just emerged from the fire. Go out and show them what grace looks like in action. Go out and show them what integrity looks like in the marketplace. Go out and be the light that you were always meant to be. The test is over. The promotion is here. The King is with you, and he is saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." If this message touched your soul and you feel the shift beginning in your life, let us know that you are standing with us in faith. If you loved this video and you believe you are a chosen one, please comment the number 999 below. It lets me know that you are ready for your breakthrough. If for any reason this message didn't resonate with you today, or you feel I can improve the content to better serve your journey, please comment the number 0. I value your honest feedback, and I want to create the most powerful content possible for our community. Or simply leave a comment sharing your own story. We read them all, and your testimony might be the very thing someone else needs to hear today. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It gives me the strength and the motivation to keep producing these videos for you every single week. The fight isn't over, it's just getting started. Stand up, Fan Kong, and reclaim your destiny. I'll see you in the next video. Amen.